some generic medicines for myself. Could not find it, fair enough. I just left it there. Then in 2013, it so happened that I had to be in a hospital with one of my relatives. And being there, looking at different strata of people struggling with all kind of expenditure on healthcare, whether it is medicines, whether it is hospital bills, whatever it may be, the thought struck me again about generic medicines. I went out, this time with a lot more vigor, because that relative of mine was prescribed an injection which he had to take twice a week. The price of one injection was 1,300 rupees. So you can very well imagine 104 injections a year, 1,300 rupees is close to 1.4 lakh rupees of expenditure. Tried finding it, could not. Then at one instance, I found the same injection in a different brand at around 750 rupees. That was a decent saving of close to 40%, or to say the least, around 60,000 rupees. Today, as we speak, the same injection is being sold at Medcart at less than 350 rupees an injection. Now, where did we go wrong? What in the entire ecosystem actually could not add up to? So if we look deeply into the healthcare ecosystem, there are four pillars, as we say. First of them is the hospitals. Then comes the physicians or the doctors. The third is the pharma companies who develop, research, make medicines. And fourth are probably retailers or pharmacies like us who help the patients at the end by providing them those medicines. Unfortunately, the hospitals want the patients to stay longer. The doctors want the patients to come back again and again, despite the fact that India has one of the lowest doctor densities in the world, where we are not able to cater to whatever the patient inflow is, but still that is the case. But coming to medicines, there is a pharma, there is a pharmacy. At the pharmacy, there is very less awareness about molecules, let alone educating people about different options that the customer or the patient may have. With an entire breed, or rather an entire segment of companies which are into marketing drugs in India, which as a segment is not present anywhere in the world, companies either manufacture or they distribute. Here in India, we have pharma marketing companies, which leads to the first problem statement, brands on prescription. You will be shocked to know that a simple drug called paracetamol 500, which is a painkiller / an antipyretic used for fever, has more than 2,000 brands across the country. Paracetamol 500, 2,000 brands. Similarly, if you look at the entire spectrum, there are 4,000 molecules or combinations available for different kind of problems. But the brands are close to 2 lakh. More than 2 lakh brands are there, for which a pharmacist cannot be expected to know. The patient will never come to know, because for a patient, it's like a behavior. We go to a doctor, we take a prescription from him. Hardly there are many words exchanged apart from what problem you are having. Then you go to a pharmacy, you present the prescription, you take the medicines. It's purely a transaction. There also, the number of words exchanged, speaking, asking questions, it's absolutely minimum. You don't ask questions to a pharmacist also on a regular day. So, who solves the problem? That becomes the case. Coming to the second part, unaffordability leads to denial of access. This was very clearly, elaborately explained also in that Amir Khan episode, that a medicine is available for, the branded one is available for 200 rupees, and the generic one is available for maybe 10 or 15 rupees. Now for a poor guy, he cannot afford a 200 rupee because his income itself is for 300 rupees a day, the minimum wages. How can he afford a 200 rupee medicine on a given day? But had he been given an option that the same medicine is available for 10 rupees or 15 rupees, he could have actually bought the medicine and the problem could have been cured. So unaffordability is second. Third is unavailability and wastage at the same time. Now this is a classic case of information asymmetry. You go and ask for a certain medicine and that medicine is not available. Let's go back to COVID times. Remdesivir, right? Everyone was looking for it. Was it a brand or a molecule? It was a molecule. Why on earth, for the first time, India spoke the language of molecule? There was a brand which was available at 4,000. There was another brand available at 700. But at that point in time, doctors were like, you have to take this, you take whatever company. So we were talking molecule. What stops us now? Today what's happening is, doctor has prescribed us for brand A, which is not available in my vicinity, which is also a normal case, but brand B is available. So there is unavailability of brand A in a certain market. Brand B, which is available, which can actually satisfy the requirement or the need, goes waste. And today, the pharma industry has close to 15 to 17% medicines being wasted every year in different ways altogether. And last, I'll probably highlight this, and this has been a case in which there are a couple of suits in the civil courts today. So you look at an image here, and I particularly found it out because there are 5 different medicines with the same brand name. One of them is an antifungal tablet. Another is a antacid tablet. Third one is used to kill or rather neutralize worms in the stomach. Fourth one is an antibiotic. And fifth one is an injection. So if a doctor prescribes you the brand, which one will your pharmacist give you? Does he have any idea? You're going for antifungal, or you're going for antacid, or you're going for killing the worms? And this has led to a number of problems in our ecosystem today. Who is going to rescue you? A patient, he does not know about molecule. The doctor knows what he's prescribing, but he's not writing the molecule, he's writing the brand. It's a classic case of Chinese whisper. You're trying to say something, and the other person is understanding completely different. Can we have a unique way of communicating? Because in this ecosystem, there are only 2 learned people, the doctor and the pharmacist. If both of them are not communicating clearly with each other, the one who's suffering has no relation with them. Right? So these are the 4 standard problem statements that we could identify. Of course, the second one is what we were primarily targeting at, because that is the language that we thought will benefit the most and the most effective way of reaching out to maybe the entire audience. When we started way back in 2014, our entire market had an awareness of less than 1%. Means people did not know about generic medicines, let alone going forward and doing something beyond. Then what we started with is, okay, how do we break into the patient or the doctor's mind? Because both need to be convinced at certain point in time. First is awareness. We did a very small survey of physicians way back in 2015, doctors/physicians, and we asked them, do you know what is generic medicines? And their answers was, yeah, those medicines which are actually in bulk, a big box of plastic which has 1,000, 2,000 tablets. And that point we were clear that it is only about awareness that we can drive. So we thought, let's bring them to our store, our physical stores, make them experience generic, ask them, okay, can you identify which one is generic and which one is not? Because the misconception was, a generic may be of poor quality, poor packaging, dekh ke pata chal jayega how bad it is and things like that. But it was not the case. Today, the top 10 pharma companies operating in India have the largest generic business in India also. It's so difficult, even for me it becomes difficult to identify whether this medicine has actually come from the generic trade or from the branded trade. Right? So, awareness, followed by availability. If I can make them touch and feel it. Please understand, my target segment is not people who are sitting here, majority of us. It is typically those who have a perpetual problem, who are dealing with lifestyle diseases, who have 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 rupees monthly bill. If I can reduce their bill by 70, 80%, imagine the kind of difference I can make to their pockets, their life. And couple it with a much bigger problem that after 60, the income dries up. At that point in time, the medicines only will go up. So, jo 1,000 tha, now it will become 2,000 or 3,000, and every passing year it will increase. So, how can I bring it down? So, availability and making it easier for people to understand. I come from an education background. We tried to make it simple for students, kids to understand. This is how we made sure that we are making it as simple as possible for a 60, 50-year-old person to just see, understand, get their questions answered, and at the end of the discussion of around 30 to 45 minutes, they end up choosing generics, 95% of them. That is the kind of education that we were able to do. Acceptance happens at 95% after this entire thing goes. And the best part is, at the level of acceptance, they tend to become a pseudo brand ambassador for Medcart, because what we have done to their life is something that no one else till that day could have done to them. Their pharmacists who they have been dealing with for years were not able to do it. So that is the kind of difference that we were able to make to their lives. And all this not at a loss. It's a sustainably growing business. We are not loss making, we are profit making, but we are not profiteering, as we said. So journey so far, we began in 2014. Slowly but steadily, we started adding more and more stores. We followed a very simple concept of one molecule, one SKU, as we call it. If you come to any of a store, ask for amlodipine 5, everywhere you'll get the same thing. It helps me reduce wastage. It helps me reduce my entire supply chain menace. It helps me improve availability, and the customer goes back happy, at the right price, satisfied completely. So till date, 2023, now the next challenge that we are doing is, how can we digitally integrate this entire thing, and somewhere around next year, plug it in to the government Aabha network or NHA network, so that the data exchange with them can be as seamless as possible, and we are the state-of-the-art pharmacy as we go forward. Coming to the last part. Sorry. So unseen benefits of this. One was, we were able to provide universal access. Whoever walks into the store, there is no income divide. We don't charge differently. We make it easy for everyone to understand. Unfortunately, till date, people who are educated, rational thinking, are able to choose generics much easier. The people who we wanted to reach the most, the bottom of the pyramid, we are not able to crack, because those are the people who trust their doctor with all the faith and just like God. So that is a barrier that we are unable to break, but we treat all of them similar. They come to us via, as in some people refer them, and they end up buying from us, which is a very, very big thing, good thing that people have done. And yes, second, we've been able to reduce wastage. Our system had brought the wastage down to somewhere close to less than 1%, where the industry average is close to 15 to 17%. Unfortunately, one thing which is hampering the entire ecology around us is the way the medicines are getting disposed. This 15 to 17% medicine which actually goes waste, a very, very small portion of it actually gets disposed properly in the right manner. So waste disposal pollution, at least whatever we can contribute, that is there. Confusion elimination, as in there is a molecule and we are giving you the molecule. We are not going by the brand. And I've just shown you some very few examples. There are tons of those examples where same brand has very, very different combinations, and God knows what will happen to you once you take it. Last one is efficient packaging. Let me elaborate this last part a little bit. I don't know how many of you have actually traveled abroad or seen how the US market behaves. In US, just like our 20-liter jar of water that we get, medicines are actually shipped in those jars in bulk, and the dispensing happens digitally to the quantity that the doctor has prescribed. So there is one jar and there is no secondary primary packaging apart from that. Finally, there is a small plastic bottle in which every patient gets their medicines. Companies like PillPack have made it even better. They pack your medicines according to the time of the day. Morning, these 4 pills. Afternoon, these 3 pills. Evening, these 2 pills. That is how PillPack has happened. So they've made it that level of efficiency. With us, what we have tried to do is best type of packaging in the most efficient manner. Instead of going for a chronic medicine packaging of 10s, we know that someone has to take it 30s in a month or maybe 60s. So packaging has been changed in those particular manner. In consultation with certain pharma companies, we have tried to arrive at those levels. Slowly but steadily, a lot of companies have started seeing the benefits, and they are also moving in a similar direction where regular medicines are getting packaged in the right packaging manner to minimize the overall wastage and the generated side packing material and other thing wastage. So this is how we have tried to make the entire thing not just a benefit to those who are intended to, but also best utilization of resources. Of late, we have started using technology also to make it even better. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.